So we are live. Yay. All right. Hello out there. Let's see. There's two of us on, three of us on. Yes. Um, Hello everybody. So we are here today with Jess. And now tell me, is it Da Nang? Da Nang or Da Nang? Vietnam? Yes. And it is very early in the morning for Jess. So we're going to hang out here, let a few more people get on, and just kind of chat back and forth. So y'all bear with us. And we're going to be doing some fried rice. And I see that's Christine that's on. Hey, Billy. Hey, Christine. Oh, my goodness, girl. I'm so glad you're here. And we're going to be making a little fried rice and an iced coconut coffee because tell us about the weather, Jess, and why we're doing that.
Oh, sure. So, hi everyone. Jenn and I originally discussed doing a live market tour. I'm very into the local produce. I go to the market most days. July, I'm thinking, what month is it? July is typically not a super rainy month in central Vietnam, but it's been uncharacteristically very wet. And so there's a typhoon you may have heard going across Southeast Asia right now. So I did wake up to rain. I got horrific rain yesterday morning. So it's raining right now. So no, you don't want to see me in my giant industrial. I have this poncho that you've probably seen these. It looks like I'm wearing a giant aqua Ziploc bag. So.
Oh, great, great. So I'm going to do intros and get you to tell us about yourself and all of that. I'm just going to give a few minutes for more people to get on. Do you have on your side, does it tell you how many people are watching? Can you see the same stuff I can see as host at the very
I see people. Yes, I believe so. Yes. I don't have my glasses on, but I will do my best.
Okay. So because I'm just watching and there's just a few people on. So I just wanted to give a few minutes to let other people get on. I usually, hang tight for a few minutes and we just kind of chit chat and then do a little bit more formal introduction. And then you went away.
Mister.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm here. Am I here?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yes. Cool.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You went away for a second there. I guess you touched your screen or something. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So let's get started. So everybody, I think probably the people that are here know me because we don't have too many people on yet. We'll probably do a little intro a little bit later, Jess, just a few minutes later. I am Jenn and I do Sharing Kitchens Live. And this is my way to bring the amazing food creators, from Substack to the world. So today we are with Jess of the Scones Archive. Hey, Claudia. Claudia is on. We are with Jess of the Scones Archive. Scone Archives, right? Scone Archives? Okay.
It all sounds great. It's all great.
And she originally we were doing a walk through the produce market, but because of the weather, we're going to be doing a fried rice and an iced coconut coffee. So I want to introduce the two of them that's here, and then I'm going to let Jess tell us about herself. So this is my son, Colton, my baby that y'all all have seen me talk about and the pictures I post and the way I want to live vicariously through him with all his travels. And then this is Jess, who is just such a lovely soul. And I'm so happy to have her here today. So we're going to have her tell us a little bit about who she is, what she is bringing to us today, and why she is in Vietnam.
Ready? Hi. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Jess. For those familiar or unfamiliar, I was not born in Vietnam, but I've been living in Southeast Asia since December. I'm originally from New York. I've spent years in many other states before that. I've been writing about food on the internet for a long time. I'm just not great at self-promotion, so I tend to be pretty private and change names of where I am. But I've been doing my Substack for about 4 years. And I'm so honored that Jen invited me because I've become a little bit better about now that I'm so far away from most people I know, I've been a little bit better about actually talking about it that I have Substack going on.
That's
So
awesome.
I've been in Southeast Asia. My marriage ended in the fall, so I kind of packed up a giant suitcase and I found
I
myself in
love
Thailand. And now I'm in Vietnam. So welcome to my little kitchen.
this is amazing. And I want to say hello to some of the people that have come on. Jolene, hello. John, hello. Um, and also Anada, hello. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Just want to welcome everyone as they're coming on. So, tell us where we are, what we're starting with, Jess. What are we going to start with
Oh,
today? I'm
sure.
chopping some veg,
So
but you go
okay,
ahead.
I admit I'm a bit out of my comfort zone. I've only had one or two people, like real life humans, over for dinner in the past, 8 months. Uh, so this was a really big experience. So thank you everyone for joining. It is, it is 6 a.m. where I am, but I like to think I'm pretty awake right now. So today we're going to be starting.
You look amazing.
Oh, thank you kindly. As perhaps some people can identify, I'm in a stage of growing out my bang, which is something a lot of people can relate to. It's just the constant thing of short bangs, long bangs. We'll see what happens. So today we're doing a young coconut iced coffee, which I drank a ton of when I was in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And I don't see it as much where I am here now. They do more of a creamy blended iced coffee in Vietnam. Things tend to be sweeter. Um, and then we're doing a fried rice since we're not going to the market since it was raining. So
Yes, yes. So tell us where we're going to start with this coconut coffee. Yep. Often it's
totally.
that I
So
I'm chopping.
okay, ready? So what you're gonna do is have about 1 shot's worth of espresso or really strongly brewed coffee. So I've got it going on in my little mocha pot. So you're gonna have a 1 glass. Yeah, you're on. Yes, so please heads up. This is not a cocktail, but you can make the cocktail if you want to. I know making your own Kahlua is a lovely process, right?
Right,
So
right.
I'm gonna get my glass from the freezers. You can see I live with filtered water. This is Vietnam, but honestly, that's more water than I have when I lived in Alaska. But that's a story for another day.
Yes, I you told me the lack of water stories about Alaska. That is fascinating.
So I've definitely living remotely the past 6 years prior to this in the middle of Alaska, and then the mountains of Wyoming has really influenced the sort of cook I am. So I've got a glass. I had it in the freezer. It is a wine glass because we are, yeah, exactly. Beautiful, Colson, beautiful. So this is, Jen is very fancy. So I wanted to kind of go along with the ruined shoe vibe.
Oh, you
So
are so sweet. Hey, Miss
I'm
Betty.
glad I got that.
Rachel.
So what we're going to do is we're going to melt the ice immediately and put in about a shot's worth of espresso.
Oh, we have the ice. Need ice.
Yeah, you can do anything you want, right? So if you want to add a little liquid sweetener at this point, you can, but there is a natural sweetness in the young coconut juice. So this, there are coconut sellers where I live right now on the street, everywhere you go. I won't tell you the prices, but this is basically a young coconut that's freshly cracked into a plastic cup because this is Southeast Asia. So there is the actual meat of the coconut is scraped out and put into the cup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it about halfway into the glass.
Okay.
I'm going to top it off with some soda water or some seltzer. It's called soda water here. And then a couple cut pieces of the young coconut.
Okay. So we have a little bit different experience. We had
That's
to,
beautiful.
let me show you what this
Beautiful.
looks like first.
You're more legit than I am at the moment.
This is what we had to buy. Okay.
Good.
Find a fresh coconut. Now,
You're amazing.
there are pictures of this boy hanging from coconut trees in Guam with a coconut.
Oh,
Have you ever seen one? It is frightening. and just slicing the top of the coconut off
Oh
and
my
drinking it for
gosh.
breakfast.
Yeah.
So, but this is what we had to get, and then we are going to try to get the water out of this.
So yeah, do whatever you need to do. I mean, if you have a machete, right, Colton, you can get the water out.
I do.
He does.
And you can get typically, right, the same seller that I get this from just cuts it with the machete and scoops it out. So however you can open it, or I know people use a screwdriver. All right, you're good. You're good. So you're gonna take your glass full of chilled coffee now. Fill it about halfway or more with the.
Okay, give us just a minute because we still have to extract the juice.
Okay, you're fine.
Let's get this because I'm wondering how much of this is going to come out.
No, you're totally fine. Honestly, I recall as a very young child, not somewhere tropical, my parents doing something very similar of showing, all right, we're gonna learn what a coconut is and kind of going in the backyard and trying to poke it open. So
you know what? I remember something very similar from mine because, of course, I was just suburban America as well. And I remember my parents doing the same thing. I have a son who's a little more versed in the fresh coconut world, but not me.
Yeah, I don't typically cut them up for myself here, but there are trucks at the side of the road. There's stands at the side of the road everywhere you go here. Coconut is spelled D-U-A. It's pronounced a bit like Yua. I'm not correct.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Oh, really?
Yeah.
So is there something we need to do to get like a cream with this, or just the water is what we're going for?
No, you just want the water. So the cream would come from if you're taking the flesh and blending it.
Okay.
So you don't need to worry about that. This is more refreshing without having a creamy element. So are you ready?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We're ready. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hold you up. I just didn't want to get so far behind.
Again, this is my second coffee, so I'm okay. Okay. So you want to take your glass with the ice, and you want to pour in about half of your young coconut juice, also known as young coconut water.
So the coffee's going in first, right, Jess?
Yeah, you want to put in about your shots worth. I think it's about 2 ounces technically, or maybe about 1 ounce of the espresso or the strongly brewed coffee, and add it to your glass.
Yes, this is beautiful.
You're wonderful. And I'm just going to get my soda water, my seltzer from the fridge. I get a 12-pack of bottles delivered every now and then. They're very low cost and amazing.
Okay, so Jess, real quick, I am going to reintroduce because we've had quite a few people come on. All right, everybody. For those of you that weren't here in the beginning, this is my son, Colton.
Howdy.
And he is going to be with us today. And Jess is in Vietnam. I know those of you who have been following my notes and whatnot probably know just who Jess is because I talk about her for like the last 2 weeks. But she is in Vietnam, and we were supposed to do a little produce walk. We didn't get to do because of the weather, but we're going to make a fried rice. And why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, since we've got quite a few people that have come on.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good day, whatever time you're in. I'm Jess. I am in Da Nang, Vietnam. It's true. I've been in Southeast Asia for over 7 months now, since some big, giant life changes happened in my life. And I'm also in the process of growing out my bangs.
I love how you ended it with that. That's okay. So back to our coffee. We have coffee.
We have coffee.
Amazing. I love that you're having late night coffee, and you're gonna counter it with some perhaps a cocktail, so you're mellow out. So we've got our coffee. As you can see, mine's a little bit lighter. Yours is stronger, which is a very good thing. Since you're later in the day. So I took a shot of espresso from my mocha pot. I topped it off with ice and some young coconut water or young coconut juice that I get from my little corner cellar. Then I'm going to top it with a little soda water or seltzer. This is one that is filtered, bottled, and carbonated here in the region.
Oh, this looks so good. Now, could we add an oat milk or a cream of some sort if we wanted to?
I wouldn't to this drink just because you're already dealing with a bit of acidity in the coffee and the coconut, and it's going to be cold. And the seltzer tends to not do that. I mean, yes, you can do like a creamy, what is it, like a French soda with that, but I wouldn't. I'm having this drink. Yeah, I would.
Okay, well, we
And
are
I'm not just saying that because I'm vegan. I love oat milk. The oat milk's not as great here. They're mostly from Australia. But
Oh, yeah, I have oat milk. Some unsweetened organic oat milk is the most amazing thing on the planet. Okay, so
I'm going to cut a piece of this. Is my young coconut flesh. Again, I got this coconut cracked open and poured into a cup at the market last night, just in case it rained. I'm gonna cut a couple slivers, put them into my drink. Then we're gonna finish. Oh, hi, puppy.
Okay, y'all. Y'all have to realize my son just took off running to his vehicle. Wait until you see the size of this knife.
Oh wow! Oh, the machete is up.
It's a knife. It's just who of you remembers the movie Australian oh gosh, it's escaping me. The Down Under thing. Now that's a knife. Yeah, that's what this knife is like. What's the name of that movie, Daddy?
Man,
now that's a knife. Crocodile Dundee. Yeah, there we go. All right. Here he comes. Here he comes. Now this is.
Oh, that's a knife.
And he made the handle, by the way.
Pieces of the young coconut flesh.
Wait, okay, so Colton is going to get violent with the coconut.
So basically, if you have a young coconut that's cracked open, really any type of like good, sharp spoon will help you cut that out. Again, I'm dealing with a fresher coconut perhaps than you are, Jen.
Yeah, exactly. I bought mine in a grocery store. Not as good as yours.
Colton, you're amazing. You're amazing. I'm just going to put this back in my fridge.
What do we do with this, baby? Scoops up.
Yeah, you want to scoop out. Use a nice spoon or something to scoop out some flesh. Cut yourself a couple strips, and then just throw them in your drink. You know, you can pick those out as you drink it, or at the end you just go, delightful. You're eating some fresh coconut.
I love it. So we're getting a little bit of that here, and then we are going to get a taste of this loveliness. This is exciting. You know what? I don't know if I've ever seen the actual inside of a coconut.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's not something we do around here very much.
I'm glad that you're trying something for this. Thank you kindly. Again, this is something
this. This
is great. Honestly, drink. And because it's right, I know where you are as well. It's so hot and humid that drinking the drinks without a bit of the cream, whether it's dairy or it's oat milk, is a bit more refreshing for a lot of folks. So, cheers. So then you're gonna just put in a straw.
So good.
Now I'm obviously a lipstick wearer, and I'm also sensitive about my teeth, so I use straws.
Oh, Lisa says, well, it's something I do a lot around my parts. What is it that you do, Lisa? I'm afraid we've been talking and I'm not sure. I think I missed that part. What is it that you do? Drinking refreshing things since you live in Australia? Cheers, Jolene.
Yes, and then lastly, very intriguingly, because I did not know that it grew there, or perhaps it's more of a European influence. But when I drank these a lot in Thailand, they were garnished with either rosemary or thyme. So I do have a rosemary plant. It died, but now I'm going to put in some Italian basil to garnish because we're on ruined shoe. So
there we go. There we go. So here, look, same here. Look at this. There we go.
It's delightful. It's delightful. And so you just have a bit of it. You basically have an iced, semi-sparkling Americano, although I believe that term is being because of what's happening, perhaps that term is being a little bit replaced. I hear it's now called other things in other countries. But in any case, this is a semi-sparkling Americano with a bit of young coconut infused throughout.
I absolutely love this. And I'm going to tell you, I was a little, because I like to have a little sweet or a little clean. So I can tone down. I don't drink my coffee black unless I drink espresso. I drink it black. But this is really delicious. If y'all are not making this, make it. And
well, thank you. I'm so glad you two tried it.
What was that? Say it again.
Oh, I'm just glad you two tried it. Again, there's a bit of sweetness from genuine, like, young coconut, like, that you're gonna get. That's not like, you don't need to buy sweetened coconut flake. Like, there already is that natural sweetness in the flake.
Yes. Well, this is amazing.
This coconut lightly older, so it's a little thicker. It's not like really young coconut that's a little thinner.
It looks great though.
No, it's good. It just doesn't have quite the sweetness that a little younger would have.
Yeah. Well, if you want to add some agave or honey, I will not judge you. I totally
I appreciate that, but I'm not. I actually am enjoying it just like this.
So you can see, I'm just going to rinse off my cutting board really fast. This is the one that came with my apartment.
And Giovanna, I think, and don't quote me on this, but I think if you tap your screen, you can scroll to see who else has made comments. Substack is I'm sure going to improve a lot of these things, but my daughter did show me that on one of our lives that I can do that. I'm not sure if everyone else can, but try it and see. Okay, so we are on to fried rice, right?
Yeah. So everyone's ready for dinner, perhaps. I'm not, but I'm going to pretend. So that's a lot. But so we're going to be making. Again, I'm Jess. I'm vegan. Can you, if I'm getting awkward with my view, let me know. I'm just going a little bit.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm not always this ready for breakfast, wearing an actual blouse. Usually I'm in pajamas. So I'm usually eating some oats or some fruit, but we'll see. So today we're going to be making some fried rice. What I've done in my pan, I have an electric stovetop, which honestly I've been living with very rare exceptions, with propane in Alaska for a while, which honestly my oven there made the best bread that I've ever had. I used to be a sourdough person, but in any case, electric stovetop. I have 2 burners, which is one of the very rare times that I've had that in Southeast Asia. I'm staying in different accommodations, so I've been very content about it. So we're going to take a pan. I don't have a wok. If I had a wok, it'd be awesome. I don't at this point in my life. There's one going in a storage unit. So past life stuff. So in this pan, I've got some chopped up eggplant, some Japanese eggplant, some fried tofu from a local seller, because of course I live by 3 local tofu makers who sell fresh tofu, fried tofu, and it always smells like soy and fresh soy milk. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I have some chopped up mushrooms in here.
So we are my husband, he doesn't care for tofu. He is not vegan by any stretch of the imagination. So we're doing a little pork today. So anybody else that may need to do something else or want to do something else to do for their protein, that's what we're doing. So are we starting with, I read over your recipe, so I guess we're just starting with a little oil, not the sesame, but just a kind of a neutral oil.
You want to start with whatever type of neutral oil you like to use. Again, I'm in Vietnam, so I'm using soybean oil. So if you have grapeseed oil or a high heat olive oil. Hi, Becky. What's your puppy's name?
Spencer. Photo
Spencer.
Yes.
I totally get it. A lot of us just have pet hair in our food all the time. I lived like that most of my life. But yeah, so you want to start with whatever protein and mushrooms and eggplant or something that you want to get that brown on first. So you want to put that in your pan. I just need to plug in my stove. So just one moment. I'm going down to the bottom floor, which is just.
You go ahead. You want me to do this?
Yeah, I think so.
So this, it's there for about 3 to 8 minutes to really get some browning on your protein base.
Okay. I'll let this just heat slightly, and then I'll get that in there.
I'm just going to turn my air conditioner on so I don't overheat my phone like we did the other night while we're talking. So just a moment. Everyone can see this is my little apartment. This is my fruit table.
Isn't that
so?
I just want to move there. I just want to go. It's
this as someone who ended a marriage and has been on their own now. It's very nice to have my own space and my own kitchen again, at least for a little while.
I understand, and I think it's just adorable. When you sent me the picture, I was just like, okay, I want to move there. I want to go there.
And I contemplated this, but it's been a very interesting turn of. Okay, and you can see I've got.
So I am putting my protein in the pan. Do you have yours already in the pan, Jess?
Yeah. Pardon me. I try not to apologize as a woman, but okay. So I've got my pan here with my eggplant, my already fried tofu, and my mushroom. Okay. So I've got my pan going on heat. I'm going to put in a little bit more oil.
Okay. So should I put my bell pepper in at this point, or?
No, you don't want to put your vegetables in yet. You want your vegetables kind of chopped on the side. And so we're going to put the vegetables. There's two thought when it comes to when you want to put your vegetables in your fried rice. Because there's some schools of thought put it in before your rice, and there's some schools of thought put it in to your rice. So we'll get to that in a moment. I've got a thing of vegetables. I've got baby bok choy, broccoli, carrots, and something else I'm forgetting. Okay. Just same length. If you're using, it's kind of easier just to put everything together. Just cut as much as will fit in your pan.
Yeah. So I'm just browning my protein. I thought we were going to be browning protein together, so I'm a little behind.
Yeah. I'm browning. I'm browning as well. So the top takes a few minutes. So prep your vegetables. Lisa, I'm glad you're understanding coffee.
With Mama's gigantic chestnut.
Yeah, I have.
That's great.
That's a problem. I'm going to tell you, if y'all come to New Orleans, there's a place called Coutelier, which is a knife store, and yeah, they send me stock certificates. Every gift I've ever I'm kidding, but every time somebody's got a wedding or something, that's where I go. It's the best place.
That's awesome. So right now I've got, again, we're considering the eggplant, the fried tofu, and the mushroom in my pan. That's my protein base, right, that I'm browning. Okay. So we're not putting our aromatics yet. So want that minced separately on the side. Again, something I learned from my life in Alaska when I didn't have running water for 2 years is always is if you might have access to wash your hands at some point, you want to do all your right, just like in a normal life. I don't know what a normal life is, but mince your aromatic and then take your shower, right? So I've got a little plate of minced garlic. I've got 3 types of hot chilies, as well as some lemongrass and some ginger. Oh, you can use some of that, any of that, whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah, and then for instance, I've got some fresh and green peppercorns to put at the end. What's that? Sorry, Jen.
Yeah, so I got some ginger. I didn't seed lemongrass, but I got ginger, and I got serranos. We don't have too much of a choice at my local small grocery. I didn't go to Whole Foods, so I got serranos. So hopefully that will work. And we have some minced garlic, some broccoli, some bell pepper, some carrots, and basil, and lime. And zucchini. Squash. I'm not sure if squash is appropriate for this, but I put it out anyway. So
I mean, right, fried rice is essentially to clean out your fridge dish.
Right.
Because if you like zucchini and you want to cut up some, I would do it in tiny cubes. But yeah,
Okay, so I think we've got a good bit of stuff here. My meat is getting pretty close to being cooked. Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit of color on my eggplant, which again is my meat here. I have a purple skin Japanese eggplant that I've used about half of in here. You can see, so it's coming along. I would say, again, for me, not for me, but fried rice, when you're looking at some of the more regional Chinese fried rices, you're just using a pinch of salt and sesame oil, right? And then white pepper. But because we're doing more of a Thai variation, I am going with a little bit of soy sauce. I'm using a Vin Thai soy sauce that's a little bit lighter, sweeter thing.
Okay.
So, but you can use anything you have. If you like soy sauce, then you're going to want to use a little soy sauce, but we're not using it yet. So, okay.
I actually have cocoa aminos, so we're going to use that today.
I do enjoy that sauce. So I'm almost there with my brownie.
Brown. So pork is brown. So what am I putting in next?
So what you want to do is make a space in the middle of your pan for your aromatics. Depending on how your heat was, you're going to want to turn it down a little, perhaps.
Okay, got it.
So then we're going to brown our aromatics. If you need a tiny, tiny bit more oil at this point, again, I don't know how meat works. I haven't eaten it like 3 decades or 4 decades. So just a moment. So I'm throwing in my aromatics, and we're just going to get those a little bit golden brown in the middle. Be careful. Let it burn. Probably call coffee. Maybe use 3 chilies like I do. It's if you spend a few months in a region where they eat very spicy food, your heat tolerance always goes up if you enjoy heat. So for me, it's a little bit lower in Vietnam now, but my chili tolerance, my sweet tolerance, my sour tolerance were all a bit through the roof.
Right.
Then.
Going in. Okay, aromatics going in the middle. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, aromatics going in the middle. I turned on my fan for a moment just because I'm hot. I felt it.
No onion, right? Just garlic.
I would think that if you want onion, go ahead and add it. I hate onions, so I don't use it.
Goodness. Don't come to Louisiana.
And I think you want to use trash from the other vegetables in this, but yeah, it is texturally, I think onion gross. That's my secret. It's not good.
And you being so adventurous with food.
Yeah, I
all have our thing.
I appreciate the flavor. I do use shallots a lot. I appreciate the flavor of onion. I just I tend to cook without it. So I do have
I don't care for them raw. Like, love them cooked in food, but I don't care raw. So I totally get that. We've got some other people come on. I can't really see too well as far as away as the phone is. I think one just has a user number, so not a name on there. And I saw an RD. So welcome everybody.
Hi everybody. So now that we have our aromatics going in, once you get a little bit of brown on that garlic, again, being careful not to burn it, make sure your heat's not too high. You're gonna want to add it if you're using some curry paste, not powder. If you're using some curry paste, you want to add a little bit of like about a teaspoon, maybe a bit more in. Okay. I keep it in the fridge or freezer. I do have some very strong curry paste that I brought back from Thailand. So I'm just gonna get that at the moment. You can use red curry paste, orange curry paste, green curry paste, whatever you have. But once you add that, the aromatic brownie. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna get a little as well. Just one moment.
Yeah, we don't want that garlic to get fiddled. Oh, this is so good.
I've got my My
anybody
curry
cooking?
paste coming in. So
What was that, baby?
this is my green curry paste. I keep it frozen, so I'm just gonna break off a little chunk to throw on in.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, I have mine in the fridge, but that's really cool. So you just like break off a little bit.
Yeah. And again, uh, mine is I just got it in a market in Thailand, so it's got probably a little bit less preservatives in it.
Yeah.
Understandably. So
Yeah.
I've got that in my pan. And then if you want to add a little bit of curry powder, I
Okay.
like that Emmy. I just got a little bit of yellow curry powder. It doesn't really have any heat in it because it's a Vietnamese one, and food here tends not to be as spicy when it comes to that. But
So tell me, should I have added my bell pepper in with those with the onions and watered foods?
I don't think so. I don't think so. You want to add that right after this. So if you're adding things like bell pepper, but because it's fried rice and you want to think of it as like a one pot dish, I would just add all the vegetables at the same time.
Okay.
I understand, again, the school thought on bell pepper and aromatics. Yes, you're gonna, and you're in the South. That's a bit.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Get you a sip of that iced young coconut coffee.
Yeah. So I've added in my curry.
Guys, y'all got to try this. Is anybody cooking or making the coffee? Let us know in the comments.
Oh, I'm not going sweet. I'm just gonna put my curry paste back in the freezer.
Okay, Giovanna. Giovanna needs to know more about the coconut coffee.
Oh, sure. Okay, so the coconut coffee. Let me just turn my stove top off. The coconut coffee was about a shot or two of strongly brewed espresso or coffee. Then you're going to top it off with some young coconut water or juice. You can get that from a carton or you can get it from an actual coconut. Then you're going to top that off with a little bit of soda water or seltzer. Throw in some fresh young coconut strips if you have them. It's okay if not. Or some roasted dried coconut strips. Maybe garnish it with a little bit of fresh herbs. And then enjoy. You don't need cream. You don't want cream for this because, again, this is a drink that was developed in really, really hot countries. You don't really want to be having dairy as much. I mean, I'm in a country now where dairy, yeah.
Very good. Yep.
Now that we've added that, you can go ahead and throw in, again, there's two schools of thought on fried rice. At this point, you can add your vegetables that are chopped up, or you can add your rice. I'm going to add my vegetables. So are you guys ready to, are you all ready to add your chopped up vegetables?
Yes, that's where I am doing.
So I've got baby bok choy. I got these all from Market last night. Baby bok choy, broccoli, carrots, and something else that I'm forgetting. So I'm going to go ahead and do your rinse with my filtered first with my tap water, then with my filtered water. So I'm going to add them into my pan.
Okay, Coco is cutting up a little bit of carrot for us. Giovanna says, yum, that sounds good. I love young coconut water.
I coffee from my 3 or 4 chilies. So just a moment. Okay, so you're going to just cook this down for about 2 or so minutes. You can add a splash of water to kind of wilt if you have something green in there, you can add a splash of water to wilt that, but we'll do that in the next step as well. That's
You see, Jess, at this point, we put it on.
what's that?
For any other, as my vegetables are caramelizing, I'm adding wine. But we're not going to do this.
Sure. Yeah, you're great. You're great. Please.
No, we're just going to do a little water.
You're great. So again, when your vegetables have been about 2-3 minutes, they look a tiny bit cooked, just let me know. We'll get to the rice and the sesame oil is the next part.
Now, do we cover it to get those veggies to soften a little bit, or we leave it
if you want. I mean, I personally add a splash of water, but we'll be doing that as the rice breaks down as well. It's really up to you texturally what you like with your vegetables and what type of vegetables you use. Like if you're using kale, if you're using really large pieces of carrot, yes, you might want to get a little steam on that.
I'm gonna probably just that broccoli is probably gonna be a little hard. Probably gonna do that for me.
This is a dish where you could do the same thing with cooked noodles, right? If you cook some cooked ramen noodles or some soba, then essentially you're kind of making other different Southeast Asian stir fries.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like perfect when you want to just, what do you have in the fridge? What can you use? Again,
Love that.
I personally lived a life where you couldn't go to a grocery store all winter. So using what you have, right, it's great. Like, you don't know what you have, and making fried rice is always super duper easy. You can use curry or not. You can go Korean, you can go Japanese, you can go Chinese, you can go Thai, you can go Vietnamese.
Yeah, that sounds great. And Giovanna, that drink sounds amazing.
Oh, and I also, yeah, that does sound really good. I also wanted to say that this is something very easy to use frozen vegetables, one of the petite frozen vegetable mixes that are just, if you're in the United States and you grew up eating fried rice at perhaps some more American Chinese restaurants, you're probably used to the peas in it, which are typically frozen.
Right, right. Hey, Douglas, I see Douglas has joined. Douglas is going to be us on Sharing Kitchens Live October 24th. Zoom a couple of days ago, and he is having a cooking class tomorrow. So be sure to look out for that link and do the cooking class with him tomorrow.
Awesome.
Next stage, Jess.
Next stage is so we've got our vegetables. They're looking a little bit cooked, right? You got a little bit of color and vibrancy going on. So now you're going to think about how much of your chilled cooked rice or other grain can you fit in there? You don't want to overcrowd your pan, but you're going to add at the same time as your rice. So I've got some red rice that I made last night. I'm going to add this in and then after that, I'm immediately going to add a really good drizzle of toasted sesame oil.
Okay.
And that's going to help bring it all together. So you want to probably lower your heat a bit. We have to make some of this. I'm going to add all of mine and probably make a mess. Then you want to add, if you don't have toasted sesame oil, if you just have sesame oil, whatever, just use it. You don't have that, but you've got rice. So I'm going to add the rice and my toasted sesame oil and a really good drizzle. That is your main flavor of your fried rice here.
Okay. So we're putting the rice in and immediately doing a good strong drizzle. Okay.
Yeah, of your toasted sesame oil.
Not too strong. Okay. Do you have something to put that in?
Stir, stir, stir. Get everything incorporated. As you can see, I'm not looking at my recipe, so if you're seeing something I miss, just let me know. Because this is one of the things that's just like cooking without a recipe when you've made it so many times. So kind of Oh, I was just saying, I'm not looking at my recipe, so you see something I missed, feel free to just shout. We're all friends.
I'm not looking at it. I have it hanging here. Looking at it either.
It's one of those things that when you've made something so many times, like an Italian pasta sauce, like you're just not reading it. So next up
with writing a recipe, I think I told you this, is that you get used to your own customizations. I'm sure everybody is like this when you've cooked for a number of years or whatever. And when I had to try to figure out what that equated to put it on paper, you would think it was easy, but it's really not. You end up having to go back and test your own recipe over and over and over to figure out or a half of this or that, so you just really get good at eyeballing. So
you sound like a professional, Jen.
Oh, please. No, just a home cook.
No, you're so right.
And a little bit of sesame in there. Okay.
Yeah, you want to do like a nice good amount of the sesame oil. Mix that all together. Lower the heat if you need to. And you want to add in some freshly ground pepper. I'm using some Thai white pepper. You could use black pepper, but white pepper, again, in my experience and research, tends to be the more common ingredient in that American Chinese fried rice that you might want to pick up a little bit of vibes on.
Gotcha.
So white pepper. So again, white pepper, sesame oil, and salt, kind of the ingredients of like the American Chinese fried rice, but we're going a little bit of a Thai twist, made in Vietnam by a long ago New Yorker today. So just bear with me. With Jenn and Coco doing all of days.
Good deal.
And so at this point, if you have anything fun you want to add, like you want to add a little oyster sauce, or if you want to add a little miso or gochujang, since we already added our curry paste and base, I'm adding what's basically a hot bean paste, and it's kind of like a miso.
Okay.
Just a like, little spoonful of it.
Okay.
This is kind of one of those like secret ingredients of Chinese food. Again, I've been able to buy here. Oh, so you can see
Wait, did I miss soy? Because we didn't add that.
we didn't add it yet. Yeah, we didn't add it yet. So I'm stirring in that into the base. Then we can add in a nice little hit of soy sauce. Again, I'm using, if you like Thai food and you can find Healthy Boy at an Asian market,
Okay.
this is what you want. This is the thin soy sauce that's going to give you that flavor that you are looking for at a good restaurant. Healthy Boy. Or similar thin soy sauces. They are not all created equal. This is one that I have bought this in Alaska. I bought this in New York. I bought this in Oregon. And I bought this in Thailand at 7-Eleven when I did a visa run a couple months ago. So again, we're going to add a good splash of it, maybe a teaspoon or two.
Okay. So like Here, I had cocoa aminos, so that's what we're gonna do.
A little hit of your aminos, and then you want to add a little bit of sugar, just like a little dash of sugar. So I'm just going to use sugar.
Honey, okay, or do we need to do sugar?
You have a little sweetness that's going to help caramelize it. So if you're already using aminos, then honey fits that vibe. So we just add someone who just uses sugar packets. Yeah, just use like a half, maybe a quarter teaspoon, not very much. I'm using a little brown sugar.
Okay.
And that's just going to help everything kind of caramelize and season just a tiny bit.
Now, Giovanna is asking hot bean paste. Is that what you said? Hot bean paste? Yes?
It's just bean paste. It's kind of, again, if I had miso, I would use a spoonful of miso. You don't need that. Again, it just depends on how flavorful you tend to like things. I'm trying to use what I have in my fridge, so I like to use that just to add a little bit more of a layer of flavor to something like this. And this is a Chinese ingredient. This is a really good brand that you can find. Yeah.
Good deal.
So we added that. At this point, you can add like a splash of water if it's sticking.
Okay. Are we good?
So we're basically almost done. So I'm personally going to turn off my heat. You kind of see what I'm cooking here. Again, pretend it's wok. If you have a cast iron pan, there I am. Okay. Pretend it's a wok, or if you have a cast iron pan, even on an electric, no, I guess you can't. No, you can use an electric stove top. A cast iron pan is what I use almost exclusively before my life in Southeast Asia. Right.
Yeah.
Cast iron pans are awesome. We're probably using one now, Jenn and Colton. But I'm in non-stick pan life. It's just my life is different now, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I just use the cast with an enamel inside for a lot of dishes, and then just cast when I really need to. There's certain things you just want that crispness to, like when I'm making cornbread or I'm making like a pecan pie in a cast iron pan, which is so delicious. It makes that crust so crispy, you know. But I use my one my daughter gave me with the enamel in it for so many things. So I love it. Okay. So I am looking.
Yeah, I mean, again, I wish I had those here, but the next step is I turned on my heat since mine is coming together. I'm gonna add in a bunch of basil. I have the Thai basil here. And I'm just gonna pick it off. I washed it. I'm just gonna pick off a bunch, throw it in, save a little for the garnish.
Okay.
And so we're almost done. So the Thai basil.
Jen is asking, would chili crisp oil work if we have it?
Yeah, so I think chili crisp oil is so good. I would use that as a garnish at the end. And then, you know, for that type of vibe, I think that's lovely. And then depending on your own heat tolerance, just have to finish with a nice spoonful at the end, right on, and go from there. And taste it, see if you want more. Because the very last thing we're going to do, right, is once we bowl it up, is taste this and see, do I want more acid? Do I want more salt? Do I want other elements? So,
yes, absolutely. Okay. How's it looking?
I can smell it here. It looks great. So I'm throwing in my basil again. I just buy a big thing of Thai basil. It's one of my favorite things in the world. I love seeing Betty make it have a bunch recently too.
Yeah, I had so much growing, and then of course the weather got to it, and I lost it. So. How is it?
And you know, it's a purchase thing. Again, I lived without Thai basil for a very long time. I would buy it in Alaska where it was probably so sad and you would not use it, but I used it. I did get a Thai basil tattoo Thai basil tattoo. It's hard to show. A Thai basil tattoo in Thailand. That's the radish. Anyway, just know it's there. Because it's one of my favorite things.
The tattoo. Yeah. And Jolene says, I'll be right over for dinner. Now, I'm not sure if she means Louisiana or Vietnam, but she needs to hop. Either way.
Jolene is always welcome. The fun fact is Jolene and I went to the same high school, so we have a... I
love it. And Miss Betty says, my Thai basil plant is hanging in there. Good for you.
Oh, beautiful.
On the other day, this lady had posted a reel on how to keep, you know, the many ones you buy at the grocery store and you watch them die. Like you do everything you can to keep it alive. And she posted how to do it. And it was basically like replanting it into a big container. And then only after the first time you water it, you just water it from the bottom. So I am going to try this because she learned this. She went on vacation and she just filled the bottom plate with water. And then instead of dumping it, it thrived. So I'm going to try that.
Okay. Well, and again, if you have cilantro at this point, or if you have mint, you could also add that in now. If you have Italian basil, just go for it because you're just doing something with the flavor. So, are you two feeling good about your fried rice?
Yes, I am getting ready to taste it. Colton has been indulging.
I have added in a ton of herbs. I say go ahead and taste it. See if you do want a little more pepper or maybe a little bit more soy, or if you just want to add that to your individual portions. I know people have different salt and soy levels of interest or tolerance, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is
so good. And so the very last thing we want to do is squeeze on some lime.
Okay, this is delicious, Jess.
That's what I was waiting.
I'm so glad. I mean, thank you, Colton. Thank you, Colton. That is the fresh lime juice. And then you have two options on how you plate it. I mean, either you can just put it on a bowl or a plate, or because of the oil element that's already in this, if you have something you want to mold it with, like if you have a bowl, you can just turn that in, pack it down, and then it'll really kind of work. Ooh. Yeah, I think maybe I can do it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of stuff because I'm living a strange life, but I have this little pink teacup that I got at a Japanese secondhand market in Bangkok. And so I'm going to pack this I'm going to pack my fried rice in this.
Okay. I need a bowl of fried rice. Like you have it for.
Yeah, and this is something, if you have quinoa or if you have a rice mix, I use red rice, you can use brown rice, white rice. So yeah, you want to pack it up, put it in it, and then let it sit for a moment, right? Just like you mold anything. Because of the oil we use, it should be able to just pop right out. 1, 2, 3.
Yay!
It looks so good, you two. So what you want to do next is definitely put some lime with you. You know, you can add it to your plate, how you serve it. You want to garnish it with a little bit more basil if you have it. I'm just going to, mine fell, but you want to toss it around your plate because, right, it's lovely.
Are we doing it like we played it? Or
Yeah. Are we squeezing this or are we just we're just squeezing the lime over our little stack?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like if you're ready to eat, just squeeze it over. If you're gonna like sit down to a meal, whenever I eat something like a stir fry or some Southeast Asian dishes, I put a lime on the side that you're gonna eat. You do have an option if you want to put a little coconut cream, just like dolloped right on top.
Yes.
Yeah, that was so
It's
lovely.
like a little art piece. I think he's got ears and a mouth. Are we putting some eyes?
You can see mine. I just went a little too intense with mine, but a little bit of coconut cream on top. Mine unmolded, so I'm very proud to be yours.
Okay, so this is Colton's got a little cool dude going.
Oh, that's really cute. I can tell you're a family.
Thank you so much, Jess. This has been so much fun. Thank you for sharing this with us and for just being so and for getting up so early. Guys, give her a hand. Lots of hearts on this screen. This lady got up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock this morning.
Yes. But it's okay. So thank you so much for having me. You two are so cute. And everyone is so nice for joining. Again, this is very out of my comfort zone, but so is living in Southeast Asia. So is Asia for 7 months. So yeah.
Yes, you're learning all kinds of things about getting outside the box. You did terrific. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And thank you, everyone else. And we will see you next time with Lolly Martin on August 8th. Bye, guys. Bye, Jess.
Ciao.